YouTube! How's it going? You good? Welcome, guys. Welcome to TBB's Tech-Bodge Emporium. This one's going to be a little chit chat about Nvidia Spark process. What do I think of it? What's my take on it? First and foremost, I will address the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm not wearing the collar. This is actually the first day I'm allowed to sort of like be partially without it. So basically at the minute I've got to sort of wean it off for the next couple of weeks. So if you do see the collar on and off during videos, it's just purely because I have to rest my neck every so often. So I wear it, I'm wearing it at the moment until strain gets a bit too much and I have to throw the thing back on again. But soon enough I'll be able to deal without it. Yes, I've got a bit of a gnarly scar. It's not too bad though, it's not too bad. Anyways, let's get back to the point. Sorry, it's a bit patchy. I'm just going to try and improve the video flow, especially with these talking head videos. Hopefully that you enjoy this content because we've got a few coming up. And I just want to throw in a few bits here and there when I'm waiting for, say, stuff to do the mods and the customization that I'd love to be doing all the time, but you know, money's money, innit? That being said, end of the month we should have everything together to do the full customization, the finishing up on that GPU, so stay tuned for that one. I will be continuing that. There's a couple of things that I want to bring to the attention of the previous mod as well. So watch out for that video. That should be happening in the next few weeks. But that being said, let's talk about Nvidia Spark, shall we? Right, look, is this a cool thing? Yeah, kinda. I'm kind of torn. Like, I could sit here and tell you that, oh, AI, oh, I hate it. Yeah, look, I detest it for what it's doing to the market as well as anyone else. And I can also see through what it is, you know? Like, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm not buying into the snake oil that Jensen's trying to push. That being said, it does have its advantages and there are some definite appeal to Spark. There is definite appeal to Spark, without one shadow of a doubt. But again, also I'm not part of the affordable market to even have this. However, let me just clear something up that I believe has most definitely happened. Obviously, AI push for the hardware to be sold was on the server market, concentrating on the server market. So that's where Jensen focused all his selling power and all his snake oil attention right on the server market. And obviously we've reached a point now where those investors are starting to realize that they won't even see the sniff of a profit on anything that they've already spent for at least 3 to 5 years before the freaking servers can even be turned on because of the power that they require. Because that's slowing down, Jensen's now moved his target onto the next in line, the consumer. So now he's made a package that each consumer can essentially have their own AI engine at home. First and foremost, we're going to address the romance of having your own little AI computer at home. Before we even address the price, before we address what the options are that are out there, or any of that, we're going to address the obvious romance of it. And I'm not disconnected from the romance of having this unit. Because obviously the romance of this unit is, I've even got a space that it would literally sit lovely underneath the shelf of controllers right there, just sit nice and neat. Any of them would. Anyway, look, I understand the romance of it. It's having a Jarvis. Everyone's just like, who doesn't want their own Jarvis? Now, look, if you are Iron Man, right, and you're asking, you know, Jarvis, fire up suit 36, send it to my location. That's cool as fuck, right? You know, this AI, you're going to be able to call it Jarvis. You could give it Jarvis's voice if you really wanted to. Like, you could have it fully set up like that. But really, what are you going to be asking it? How much milk is left in the fridge, Jarvis? kind of takes the romance away from it when you're just asking them about shopping stuff. Because let's be honest, that's really what you're going to be doing. Like now, if you're a creator, the problem is if everyone's content starts looking basically the same because content creators are lazy essentially, and certain content creators are probably going to buy this unit, leave it on the desk so that they can literally film their content and then get to the end of it and just go, hey computer, here's my content, here's the content that I've videoed, make 3-4 edits of it. Now don't get me wrong, having that sort of ability would be awesome in your edited videos. Say I've filmed a video, I've edited it through, you know, to the point I've cut everything and all that, like, and I'm just like turn around to the AI and go, can you please edit this video, just cosmetically edit this video in 3 different ways, and I'll pick the one that I like. But obviously keeping hold of the raw one. So if I don't like the AI versions, I won't publish them. But that would be a nice addition to using it as a tool, because that was what it is. It is a tool. So there is a massive appeal there. But when it comes to like asking it general stuff whilst you're out and about, why would you do that? Because at the end of the day, if it's not connected to the internet, then essentially it's only going to know stuff that you've taught it. So if you're asking it something that you don't know, it's not going to know it really. It might do, but it would have to look at the internet. It would essentially have to do a Google search for you. So you may as well just do your Google search yourself. So in those terms, I don't see the benefit of it, because I wouldn't want it attached to a network. And the point is, is there going to be some evil corporation to point where Jensen just switches them all on and just uses your own personal power and stuff for his AI takeover infrastructure or whatever? Maybe. That's why I wouldn't want it connected to the internet. I would want it to just be closed circuit, do what the stuff that I've taught it. You know, just add memes, stuff that I've got in catalogue. I'll save stuff to the catalogue. It can look on local system. That kind of thing would be really cool. However, I don't have the money for these things. But let's have a look at the options, right? So I'll just pop them up here. I found 4 options for this thing. One of them I would steer clear of, and I'll explain why. So obviously you've got the Founders Edition, the Nvidia one, $4,000. I've seen them priced up to $5,000, but they're the same unit. You got 20 core ARM, there's 10 Cortex X9 25s plus 10 Cortex A7 25 ARM with 128 gigabytes of LPDDR5X with a 240 watt power supply. Graphics are GB10 Grace Blackwell Superchip and 4 terabytes of NVMe M.2 with self-encryption, and Wi-Fi 7, BT 5.4, blah, 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 right? So this is a unit. It's kind of cool looking, sort of looks a bit like a subwoofer. I kind of like what they're doing with the, I know how they do it, the mesh that they use. Basically, you put a sponge, you lay a sponge down, and then I think you pour nickel or something onto the sponge, you let it cool down, the sponge basically melts away, or you've got to use a chemical to melt the sponge away, and then you're left with essentially like a nickel or whatever metal you've decided, sort of mesh grill, and it looks kind of cool, and I'm guessing that's what Nvidia have used here, both sides, for this pass-through of cooling. But it's a cool little unit, but it's $4,000, right? The other units on offer are obviously, the next price down is Gigabytes. Kind of just looks like a box with a plastic grill on the front of it. Gigabyte. I'm saying this now. I know there's not a huge amount that you can do with like these little AI boxes. They are what they are, but you've got to do better than this for freaking £3,800. £3,800, and it's a freaking box with a grill on it. Like this one looks like it's had the least effort put into making a case for this. So, and they're definitely making money on them. So, you know, put a little bit more effort in, please. Because I'm guessing that all of these are literally, the motherboard and everything is all literally sent from Nvidia, all pre-packaged, because they're all exactly the same size and shape. They just have different case, if you get me. So I'm guessing that Nvidia are sending out the whole unit and they're just casing it themselves. So Gigabyte, you could make a little bit more effort into this, but you can get a Gigabyte one for 3,800. I personally would probably end up going for the MSI one. The Gigabyte and the MSI one, they've both got the exact same specs. They're both using this 20-core ARM 10 Cortex X925 and the A725 ARM on the CPU side. And on the GPU side, they are both using the GB10 Gracewell super chip, Grace Blackwell super chip. And they've got 4 terabytes of storage, and they've got 128 gigabytes of the LPDDR5X unified system memory. So, but the MSI one is 3650. Doesn't seem like a huge amount, but if you look at it from, it's 350 quid cheaper than the Nvidia option, and it's got the exact same specs. It doesn't, like, it looks like they've tried to make it, you know, like at least MSI themed. It does look like a little mini computer, whereas like Gigabytes looks like a freaking, you remember all those cheap TV boxes from back in the day? That's what Gigabytes looks like, and it's more expensive than this. So yeah, this MSI one is basically the all singing, all dancing dog stingers unit, but it's, you know, 350 quid cheaper than Nvidia's offering, and 150 quid cheaper than Gigabyte's offering. It's better looking than Gigabyte's offering. I'm not going to say it's better looking than Nvidia's offering, because I don't think it is, to be honest. And then obviously there's one more unit, and this other unit is the Asus Ascent GX10. Now do not get this mixed up. I would avoid this one. I know it's the cheapest one, it's the one that people are probably going to end up going for, but for me, if you are going to spend this much money on one, I wouldn't get this one. I would just save up an extra few hundred quid, get the MSI unit, because this one, so this is 400 quid shy of the MSI unit, but the MSI unit is the all singing, all dancing Nvidia system. It's got all the same specs, whereas this one here, the Nvidia is Asus Ascent. The CPU, it has an ARM v9.2A CPU, brackets GB10, but we'll get to that in a second. So this is like a cut down version, I don't know. It's not using the same CPU as the other three in any way, shape or form. It's not. I don't know whether this is what this Nvidia Spark was going to be, and then it ended up being replaced by the upgraded version, and Asus got their hands on a load of them and they're throwing out, because people are going to end up buying this unit because it's 400 quid cheaper, and it's kind of packaged to look the same. It's still called an Nvidia DGX Spark, so people are still going to be thinking that they're buying the same thing, and they're not buying the same thing. So for starters, like I said, the CPU, not the same. Memory, it does have 128 gigs of LPDDR5X memory, so it does have the same stuff, the memory. Graphics card, it's an Nvidia Blackwell GPU, GB10 integrated. This is the same website, and this one is listed as a GB10 Gracewell super chip. Like this, the CPU is still a 20-core ARM 10 Cortex, blah blah blah. But this unit does not list that CPU. Whereas all the other three list that CPU and that Nvidia GB10 Gracewell super chip. That is literally the exact same listings as what is listed in the MSI model. I'm guessing that the Gigabyte model being between the two in price is essentially the same. It just has a weird way that they've worded on the GPU side of things. But this MSI model and the Nvidia model are definitely exactly the same. Whereas this Asus model, I don't think it's worth paying 400 quid less. It's only got 1 terabyte of storage instead of 4 terabytes of storage. But I think the problem is that 1 terabyte of storage is what people are going to think is the only real reduction in the Asus model. So people might just literally see it and be like, oh, it's 400 quid cheaper. Why is it 400 quid cheaper? Have a look and it was like, oh, it's only got 1 terabyte of storage instead of 4 terabytes of storage. That's okay, but it's not really, because they've been banging on about how it's all been GPU focused with the AI stuff, and how now they're bringing CPU power into it, and all of the footage and everything about how everything runs and stuff, and how it's all sort of starting to run in game and stuff like that. Like, that has all been about the new CPU on ARM and the new architecture, the new CPU, GPU architecture, the new ARM cores, that Cortex thing. That's what all they've all been banging on about that. That's what all of your favorite content creators have been testing. It's been those units, and this Asus unit is not it. So for me, if I'm spending $32.50 on an AI specific computer, I'm going to spend an extra 400 quid and get the proper unit, not this unit. This is like playing with it. It's got a weaker CPU, it's got far less storage, and I don't know whether that's the exact same GPU. Like, it is a GB10, it is Blackwell, but I don't know whether it's the same GPU. It could be, but it hasn't got the CPU power that the other one has behind it. And I personally think at that price point, when you're already spending 3,200, you may as well 3,250. You may as well make that 3,650 and get the actual thing that you think that you're getting, rather than pay 3,250 thinking you're getting that thing and you're not really getting that thing. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Me personally, I think AI has its advantages, and it is a really, really good tool when used for the right things. I think it's a dangerous tool though, because it's one that some people will just choose to lean on. But like I said, if it's implemented properly, it's used properly, AI is a really good use, like machine learning, algorithms that literally just help you out in a day-to-day basis. That's not a problem. The romance of having your own Jarvis, let's be honest, no one's doing that, because you either connect your AI unit up to the internet, which kind of defies the whole point of having your own AI server as such, is so that you don't have to be connected to everyone else, so that people don't see what you're doing. And it doesn't make any difference whether that search comes from you or that search comes from the AI unit on your behalf. It's still a search that's happened on the internet for something that you're doing. So you're just giving that information anyway. So if that was your argument, as soon as you hook it up to the internet, you kind of divide that whole point. If you want an AI unit to be stay at home and stuff, it'll probably have some base material baked into it so that so it's user friendly. But in general, it's only going to know what you teach it. So if you want to teach it a whole load of shit that you don't even know, that's some work. But I suppose once you've taught it everything that you know and don't know, then it would be an incredible tool. But again, it's something that you have to teach up to it. So I think that for the general use of a Jarvis, No one's doing it. No one's doing it. People are just going to Google search. Because essentially, if you're looking for something that you don't already know, which means that it's definitely something that you probably haven't taught your AI, which means it would have to search the internet for it. So it is just essentially going to do a Google search for that thing. So you would be asking it to then do a Google search to then send you the results. You may as well just do the Google search yourself. So for those uses, it's a nice dream, but again, like I said, if you're not Iron Man, having a Jarvis is kind of a bit lame, because you just start asking it what you need from shopping. Is there anything that you've forgotten off your list? The stuff like that, and then it kind of loses its panache and rubs the shine off it, you know. But I do think that they do have a tool. Like I said, I would personally stay away from this Nvidia DGX Spark Asus Ascent because it doesn't have the same hardware as the others in it. It just doesn't. The one I would recommend at the minute, mainly because of the price point, and I don't think it looks that bad. I'm not a huge MSI fan or anything like that. I literally don't own anything MSI. Anyways, this thing looks kind of cool. I think it would look cool here anyway. And it's also cheaper than the Nvidia version. It's exactly the same specs as the Nvidia version. So all the hardware in there is the same. And, you know, I would recommend this one. It's the cheapest one with all the good hardware in there. If you're a Gigabyte fan, then you're more than welcome to get this ugly ass box for 3,800 instead of the 3,650 that you get in the MSI model for. Same specs, same hardware inside, ugly box, but with Gigabyte written on it. So if you're a Gigabyte fan, 3,800. And obviously if you're a bougie bastard, you're gonna get the pretty subwoofer looking thing from Nvidia for £4,000. But again, like I said, if you're in the market for one of these things, I would recommend the MSI unit. I would recommend staying away from the Asus unit. And let me know what you think. What do you think about this? Don't get me wrong, yeah, I like the idea of this, certainly in the form of like when it comes to video editing and stuff like that. That would be really good. But I'm not like, I don't think that I don't hate on them for what they're doing to the PC market in general. They're kind of making it unaffordable for everyone. It's kind of shit. So don't think that I'm not hating on that. Like I am. Just I see the benefits of this sort of tech in the home. But I also am fully aware that this is literally Jensen redirecting his snake oil at the consumer. It does come with its benefits, but that is a fat price tag. And just remember, next year, he's gonna have a more powerful one for the same or less, the same or maybe a little bit more, so we can try and keep the price on this one at knowing fucking Jensen. But at the end of the day, be careful what you spend on your technology, especially when it's first of its type. That's all my advice. Anyways, let me know what you think. I want to hear what you think. Do you hate AI? Do you see a benefit to it? Do you, like, I'm fully aware that AI isn't taking over anything, but I want to hear your opinion, like, genuinely. I do. That's what this is all about. What do you think? Do you think AI is going to take over? Do you think these are decent, these little units? Would you get one if you had the money? If not, if you don't have the money, is that why you think they're stupid? Or do you just think they're stupid? Do you see the benefit for them? Are you in a position that would benefit from them? Let me know. I want to hear about it. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Should be sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye.
Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Share.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.